It's ridiculous. Yep. But I will share I will share this article in the description, and we will move on to the next thing. Oh no, I closed the trailer for that movie.
Oh yeah, well, so it's called Emancipation. It's a movie by Will Smith as the main star here, and it's an Apple TV Plus movie, which is a question in and of itself as to how well this is actually going to do. Because it's, as far as I know, it's not coming out in theaters. It's just going to be Apple TV Plus.
I do not like that.
And I really don't know how many people actually have Apple TV Plus. I myself even don't.
You did.
I did at one point. That was just because it came with like my free, when I bought an Apple TV 4 years ago, it came with a free 1 year subscription. So I had it for a year, but not because I was actually willing to go out and pay for it. So I really don't know. It looks like the trailer, it's just a teaser trailer, but it looks good. Like it's definitely an Oscar contender for sure. Will Smith. It's a little background. Name kind of gives it away itself, but it's about the slave movement and Will Smith breaking away from his basically his slave master, essentially. What we're getting from the teaser trailer, and it looks like a solid movie, honestly. But I don't know how well it's going to do because it's coming out just on Apple TV Plus, just on streaming, as far as I know.
No, it's being released in theaters as well.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. The trailer at the end says it's being released in theaters, and then I think it's like 9 days later it's being released on Apple TV Plus.
Okay, good. I did not see that. Yeah. So that's good at least. So then I guess that actually is a good point, because I think to qualify for the Oscars, it has to be in theaters. Is that correct?
Yes, you still have a theater run at a California or a Los Angeles based theater for 1 week.
Okay.
Within the year of the Oscars.
So that's why it's
contention year.
Well, so it gets 9 days. Maverick gets 3 months.
Yeah.
Does that seem?
Well, it gets 9 days solo. There's 50 million subscribers on Apple TV.
Okay.
So it's a little less than HBO Max, which is a little over 60 at this point. So it's a lot, but like you said, it's not enough. I'm not subscribed to it. And there's two things, there's only like two things that I've actually wanted to see on Apple Plus. One of them is that show with, it's about a soccer coach.
Ted Lasso. Ted
Lasso. Yes. I wanted to see that because that looks really good.
I kind of do too. It looks funny.
It's won a couple Emmys. I think it's 2 or 3 seasons in. Yes, my former roommate, he was big into that.
But the other thing is I find that they still do stuff on DVD and you can still buy episodes sometimes. I'm at the point where I'm having a little bit of extra money, so I'm okay with buying things now. I have a Vudu that I put Maverick on the other day because it was on sale for like $14.99. So I was like, now I own it.
I don't even know how much is Apple TV Plus. Is it $10 a month? 15? I think it's around 10.
I have no idea.
I don't even know. I lose track of all these streaming services, honestly, of how much is which. But I think it's around 10. Between 10 and 15 a month.
Oh, $4.99 a month.
Oh,
that's not bad.
That's actually
not really good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's dirt cheap, actually.
But I can't think of any shows on there aside from the ones you mentioned.
Well, there's a Jason Momoa show, which I watched like the first couple episodes for, then kind of.
Do they only have original content on there?
Yes.
No, they have other content as well.
Do they?
Oh yeah, they've brought up a couple things that actually all the Peanuts Christmas and Thanksgiving specials and stuff like that, they have that on there now. So Charlie Brown Christmas wasn't actually on TV last year because Apple Plus had bought it and they had exclusive rights to it.
There you go.
So there's things like that are happening.
There'd be everything you could get on iTunes too, right? Like to rent.
I would assume you could get stuff on iTunes to rent. I mean, that's the thing is I own a lot of this stuff.
Because they have everything,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, through other services or from just the fact of having it on DVD, and I still have a PlayStation 4 hooked up for the kids to play on. So we'll throw DVDs in there all the time for like older movies that we just want to see. I I don't know. I just, I'm at my limit for services. I'm even thinking about trimming down from what I do have. Netflix is not one that I have. I don't have Netflix. I have Disney Plus. I have
Peacock,
HBO, Peacock.
Office, obviously.
I borrow some of these. I'm not saying which ones.
Right.
I have Hulu.
Do you have Amazon Prime? Well, I guess
I have Amazon Prime. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Have Amazon Prime. So, I mean, I'm literally subscribed to I'm paying for at least 4 of these services.
Yeah.
So, and that's just a bit much.
Yeah. It adds up quickly.
It adds up very quickly. Some of them I need to trim back on the service because like I think with Peacock, I'm going to go down to the commercial one because it's saved me $5 a month.
Yeah.
Cuts the price in half. So instead of $10, it's $5 and I get commercials, which with the way YouTube has gone, like
commercials
you have commercials on YouTube all the time anyway. So now it's just something you're used to again.
You know, for a little bit there, I did look into YouTube Red because I'm someone who is so annoyed by YouTube commercials.
It's so expensive.
It's insanely expensive. I'm like, are you kidding me?
It's $50 a month.
I'm like, and I hate YouTube commercials. They not only do they interrupt you at the beginning of the video, but sometimes it's during the middle of the video and they time it right when someone's about to say something, and it just pisses me off.
It's at the end too. It's at the end if you notice.
It's all over the place.
It's at the beginning. It's at the end. It's in the middle. The key things with the YouTube Plus that some people, because I know some people who actually did it, is it had a live TV option with it.
Okay. Yeah.
So if you were into like watching like the Thanksgiving parades or football or things like that, you had that. What else was it? It also had you could download any of the content and play it offline.
Okay.
So and you could play it with your screen off, so you could use it as more of a listening device than just so like that's what I do with a lot of the podcasts is I'll have the video playing of a podcast that I'm listening to just because it's fun to have the video there, but I'm not really watching it. I'm more just listening to it. I'll have it sitting on the counter next to me while I'm washing dishes or something. But yeah, so now it's like you could turn the screen off and just use it that way. I think it also came with like Apple Music or not Apple, YouTube Music as well.
Yes.
So, I mean, the $50, you get more out of it than most other services, but I still don't think it's worth it for something that's primarily accessible free.
Right.
Yep. Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, the other thing I wanted to quick touch on the teaser trailer thing here was this has been a debate ever since the Oscars and Will Smith's slap. Do you think Will Smith's career? Some people say, "Oh, his career is over since the slap." Do you think his career is actually going to be either over or take a tumble from this slap, or do you think people will forget about it and move on from it? And what do you guys think about that? I'm genuinely curious here.
I think if he had walked up on stage and slapped Taylor Swift, his career would have been over. Yeah. Or his wife in front of everybody, his career would have been over. But I don't think anyone cares that he slapped Chris Rock in front of everybody after he had made a joke about his wife's alopecia. Yeah. Granted, I still think it's a gross overreaction. Like, come on, take your jokes in stride. Everybody gets them at the Oscars. Yeah. It's part of being the show. It's part of being the main contender for your Oscar win that year. Just deal with it, dude.
I mean, anyone who's offended by that didn't watch the one where
Ricky Gervais.
He roasted the entire crowd.
Oh my gosh, where Ricky Gervais just didn't give a crap. That was Golden Globes, but yeah, it's still
Golden Globes, right? Yeah, still my favorite Golden Globes clip ever.
He just didn't care.
No,
and he said that throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, it's my last one. Who cares? Who cares? It's my last one.
I mean, he'd done it like 5 times at that point, and every single time. Yeah, I think that was his 5th time doing the Golden Globes, and he said that it would be his last one. And he got in trouble for years past, like going too far. according to people, but they still brought him back because he brought in the views. But yeah, so I mean, I just think like the whole slap is overblown. I don't think anyone really cares. If he had done it to someone who was a little bit more innocent, a little bit more uncalled for, then maybe his career would be in trouble. But
yeah, I'm in the same boat. I think this will pass, and people will. I'm not sure if anyone will like completely forget about it because it happened on such a wider stage. I'm not going to say huge stage because the Oscars have taken a tumble in viewership the past couple of years for obvious reasons.
I didn't even know the Oscars had happened until the next day when everyone was talking about this slap online.
Yeah.
And I usually paid attention to that stuff. I used to throw Oscar parties and have people over, and we'd fill out our cards guessing who was going to win whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And the fact that I've completely missed it this year until the slap happened. I'm sorry, but the Oscars, who cares about the Oscars anymore?
Yeah.
I thought it was fake at first because of the fact that
I thought it was scripted.
Some people are still debating that, I think, whether it was or not. I don't think it was.
I was like, I thought this was fake because they're trying to get Oscar, and this will create buzz. They know it's going to create buzz. This will create, interest in the Oscars. So let's create this moment. That's what I initially thought.
Oh, I'm pretty sure they used it for that afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
They saw their opportunity, and that's why they didn't issue a correction or any judgment against him for 2 weeks. I think it took him 2 weeks to say anything after he had done it. Like, come on.
Yeah.
So someone obviously did this in front of people. I mean, if he had like slapped him and then beat him to the ground and then like started stomping on him or something, then his career's over. But
single slap. Like he slapped him once. It was just one slap.
A slap too. It wasn't an
open punch too, right? It was open hand.
Open palm. Yeah. It wasn't a punch.
It was
not a
hand.
punch. No. Yeah.
No one cares.
Yeah.
I mean, Chris Rock probably cares, but
I mean, I feel like what did I read? And Chris Rock's response, like he didn't press charges, or anything. Like I don't know. I don't.
He's lucky Dwight wasn't up there throwing punches.
These moves. Yeah. Right.
Shut up! Sucker punch.
God, what was that? Oh man, classic. All right. Well, that's all I had for that.
New movie coming out on Apple, Emancipation.
Yeah,
check it's coming out December. Ooh, do you have the date on that? I just closed it.
I do not.
And it's not black and white, right? I was watching the trailer. It kind of looked black and white at first. It's not, right?
No, it comes out December 2nd. No, that's the thing is it looks like it's black and white, but it's
right. When I first watched, I was like, is this black and white? I don't think it is.
Not quite black and white.
I was on the fence for a little bit there.
I think they mainly like turn the saturation really, really low. So it's near black and white, but the grass still looks like slightly green.
Okay.
The sky, like they're doing something, funky with the color there, but it's
something funky with colors. This is off topic, but it was on Twitter. The latest House of Dragon episode, some of the scenes were filmed in broad daylight.
Oh yeah,
and they edited it to look like a full moon night scene.
Yes.
How is that?
Yes, day for night.
That's actually
did that at school.
That's actually a fairly frequent technique, believe it or not.
It's just it made news because how dark some of the episodes from Game of Thrones were. Yes, people were pissed, and
people complained about. I mean, the big battle sequence in season 8 of Game of Thrones that got a lot of attention because no one could see anything.
And the same guy apparently directed this episode, and probably a lot more. But
they made the same mistake again, apparently. Yep.
I thought it looked okay. I mean, some people have a really crappy TVs. They shouldn't be watching these shows on.
Yeah.
You got to have the
that might be true because, I think last week I was saying that I watched Batman and I turned the brightness way up so I could see it a little bit better.
Yeah.
So I could, because it's a dark movie. So I was like trying to see like the details a little bit finer. So I turned the brightness up a little bit more just so I could so it's instead of being black, it was like dark, instead of being like a dark black, it was just like, okay, that's black, but there's another black over here, like.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, so that movie comes out on December 2nd in theaters and December 9th on Apple Plus.
There you go.
Emancipation, Will Smith.
Yep.
All right.